Hi, good evening all. Welcome to Blue and Gold Talk. The video on the channel, if you're new here, is just random thoughts and talk on this video, unlike some of my other videos, which is a set video ahead of time. This one, guys, I think it's going to be pretty damn predictable what I'm going to talk about. What the hell happened last night? What the hell was that? Guys, but you got to admit one thing. Got to admit it. I called it 6-2, right? I got that part right, but my God. As this season unfolds, this team doesn't seem capable of a winning streak. And that's only going to last so long then, because we've had 2 losing streaks already and no winning streaks. So we're struggling to become a 500 team and stay 500. And guys, I don't know how much longer they can last the way it looks right now. Now, it could be wrong. They might go crazy and go nuts. But when I see a team let the worst team in the NHL manhandle them the way they were manhandled yesterday, physically also, what can I tell you? What are we going to say about that, right? And then I watched these interviews after, and Tage at least admitted we were soft. He said it. He said we're soft, He throws it out there. I'm sure that's something they don't like to talk about in the dressing room, but yes, this is a damn soft hockey team. I've been saying it for years. Being 20th in the league in let's say hits, and that's just one aspect of physical play, but let's just throw the hits out there. That's the main number that's kept track of. It's not good enough. We got to be the top team in the league in hitting. If the Sabres want to get the respect of the fans, okay, they got to give them at least a hardworking team night after night after night. And I'm not just talking doing the stupid transition and going up ice and trying to do the razzle-dazzle. No, none of that crap. I'm talking we take guys out. Doesn't matter what the score is. You can't tell with our team what the score is. You can turn on a game, the score's not showing up, and you have no idea if they're winning or losing because all you see is the same thing night after night after night. And they've got to come out with a much harder effort. I think that's easy. That's such an obvious cliche. No, they got to come out meaner than they've been in years. In years. They're just not a mean team. They're not tough. I mean, to be embarrassed on our home ice like that, letting the fans go through that. If the team made the playoffs last year, it's a little more forgivable. This is a team that's staring a 15-year playoff drought right in the eyes, and they come out with an effort like that. After they played one of their best games of the season, really. But that doesn't say very much when you've only won 5 regulation games, guys. We haven't won 10 regulation games. We won 5. So who cares if it was our best game against Edmonton? We're due for one. We probably could have done that drunk that night. Edmonton's playing terrible. They're playing like crap. We didn't run into a hot team whatsoever. Calgary's not exactly hot either. But think about it. Calgary the night before gets spanked in Chicago. And they come right into our barn and do this to us. Imagine. And I'm not trying to take a cheap shot at Calgary, but they're the worst team in hockey this year. They're going to have the best shot at McKenna. And they're professionals who don't want to be embarrassed night after night. No, you're never going to get hockey players to tank. There's no such thing as that. Hockey players will not tank because they have a thing called contracts. And they want to make more money on those things called contracts eventually. And they're not going to be unproductive on purpose for a guy they may never be teammates with. No, it doesn't work like that. It's GMs that try to tank. And Calgary's not trying to tank. They're not. But they came right in to our barn and did that and made us look like idiots. Oh my God. I don't know what to say about something like that, guys. Really, I don't know what to say. I don't know how to react to that. I wasn't even mad. I watched the whole thing right to the end. And I just shook my head at the end. So, all right, I'll talk about this tomorrow in a video. Like, it wasn't about, because my upstairs neighbor, I think his wife's she's kind of ill. So I'm just like, not doing videos too late right now if I can. I don't know what they're going to do. We need to make trades, guys, and we need to make trades now. But we have a general manager, unless he wins the trade, in his mind, he won't make it. And that's an idiot that does that. Sorry, but it's true. If he thinks right now he can win a trade with any general manager in the entire NHL, he's out of his mind. He's out of his mind. The other GMs know your predicament, okay? They know they can win a trade with you before the trade is made. They know. They know. So don't do the fake thing, Adams, thinking, oh, well, I don't know if this is perfect for our team. No, make the deal. Guys, what's going on with Alex Tuch? Owen Power. I mean, what's going on with some of these guys? I don't buy, some Sabres fans call Power a bust. I don't buy he's a bust, okay? I don't. He's a young kid still. But he doesn't have a mean streak. He's not what we need. We need tough, physical defensemen on this team. We need to get tougher, and Owen Power's not it. He's not a Zdeno Chara, that's for sure. The Sabres have got to start looking at options. And yeah, trading some players out might be their only option, guys. Something has to happen, right? I mean, they can't continue like this and expect it to be okay, because it's not. So they've got to come up with some sort of deals, not deals. They got to trade out some players. Okay? I would keep Rosen up. He wants to win more than half the team does. That's what I see. I keep him up. There's certain guys that have impressed me this year, and their names are like Rosen, Ostlund. I mean, there's guys that are at least trying while we were losing. The other guys, some guys just look like they're gone. And it doesn't make sense, folks. I mean, if this is how they handle pressure, imagine in the playoffs. We want a team that's going to be strong in the playoffs here. It makes no sense, guys, to get in the playoffs just so we could say we made it if we're going to do nothing and just fizzle out right away, right? I don't want to do like Montreal did last year and get in and have all this like momentum and everything and then lose 4-1. No. And then what? We're going to say, oh, well, at least we made the playoffs this year? Good God. I don't know. I don't know what they're going to do. They've got to sacrifice talent for toughness. If I'm the GM, I'm shipping out talent for toughness. Because at least that can make the fans proud of the effort. Give me a guy with no teeth, average talent, but 100% aggression over some flash in the pan guy like JJ Peterka. Any day. Give me somebody tough. Any day. Because the tough guy in the playoffs, you need. The flash in the pan guys, they don't show up. They just don't. Not all the time. Unless they're mega talents like McKinnon, But McKinnon's mean too. That guy, he's an edge to him. I don't know what they're going to do. As far as I'm concerned, Adams and Lindy got to go. As far as I'm concerned. I know I'm not going to get my way, but this is what I would do. Because you know what, guys? If we did that, I know for a fact you'd all feel better. That we're at least trying to change. Right? But sitting still and accepting getting beaten on the way we have been this season, not just last night, this season, is unacceptable. Because at some point, we're going to have to look at everything what everybody says about us as true. I don't know what they're going to do. There has to be something they can do now besides sit still. And what? Answer questions about who's injured and when they're coming back? And are you kidding me? Is anybody like in management watching what's going on like on the ice? Do they realize that this is insanity that we go through every year? It doesn't make any sense to me that we sit still. That for me is worse than the losing, guys. It is. That might sound crazy to you, but it is. The fact we sit still means we accept being a losing franchise. Hell, we fired Scotty Bowman during a rebuild, okay? We can't fire Kevin Adams? What the hell is going on? Boy, how I miss the Knox brothers owning this team. Believe me. How I miss those days. And there's no way they would tolerate this. They would never tolerate this. Now, you got an owner now who... You ever see the movie Plan 9 from Outer Space? Pegula probably would have been a good fit in that movie as some character, you know? He's just not with it. I mean, his heart's in the right place, it is. He loves the team, he bought the team, he upgraded the dressing room and the statues outside, all the, you know? But he forgot a thing called on-ice product. And just because he likes Adams isn't a reason to keep him. Owners have to disconnect that. They got to disconnect how they feel. And say, sorry, no. You know, this is going to cost me millions if I continue letting this happen. And let's face it, is it really about money with Pegula like people think? I don't think so. I just think he's stupid. Folks, I think we just have a dumb owner. I don't think it's because he's cheap. Look at our cap. You don't hear our Sabres fans talking about the cap anymore because we pretty much maxed it. It's not about cap, guys. It never was. I've been saying that for years. It's about going in. If I'm the owner, I'm going into the general manager saying, how the hell did we throw just 6 hits tonight? What the hell's going on? 6 hits. That's not yesterday. I'm talking last year. But how can, or year before, whatever, during the soft era under Granato, how can we have accepted night after night after night of that? Does Pegula not watch hockey and know that this is bad to do? Like, I don't know. The Sabres just aren't run by smart people. Adams did very good for our pipeline, I'll say that. But that's where it should have ended, right there. Okay, he took all the scrutiny and all the crap, he had to deal with the media and everything, okay, and now he's got a pipeline of young talent, behind us now, which we didn't have before. Okay, let's cut ties with him and get the real guy in here now to get it done. I don't know. When Quenneville's available, go look at Anaheim, folks. Go look at Anaheim. Go look at their record. Check where they are overall. Check their home record. Check their road record. Watch them in a game. Tell me Quenneville behind the bench doesn't have that team under his wing already. Lindy's been trying to get this team under his wing since he got here. It's not happening. Okay? It's not happening. So, bring in Tortorella. At least we know we'll get 30 hits a night. At least we know we'll be tough. At least we know that much. Because right now we have no identity. except 14 years and counting of a drought. That's our identity. And until we get a general manager in here that makes us forget that, we're doomed. We're doomed. So we need, in my books, to get a GM, which I would say Kekalainen, and I would get, why not? Right? We have him here. Let him just take the reins, and then let him bring back Tortorella. If he brings back Tortorella, it means he believes in that coach. I mean, there was a lot of, I don't know what went down over in Columbus exactly when they let him go, you know. But even Columbus is better run than we are. Even now. They've got to do something. I'm going to leave it there. They've got to do something. They've got to do it soon. Time's running out, not just for the season, for this franchise. We're on life support as a franchise right now, when I see last night. You know? I mean, I know I felt happy they won a few games, but I said I want to see if they're capable of a winning streak, though, and they're not even close last night to wanting to have a win streak. I think they just assume they're going to win, and that's just dumb in itself. Do they forget which team this is? You know, we're not a team that we once were back in the 70s and 90s. That team is not around right now. This team is. We've got to fix this. We've got to fix it soon. And that starts with change up over the players. And then let the GM do what he wants. I wish Kekalainen would just take over, and then he can trade and bring in whoever he wants. Leaving it there, guys. That's it. Have a good night. See you in the pregame tomorrow. Boy, oh boy. What a mess yesterday. What a mess. See you soon, guys.